Yo, this is Skrill the Great, your Deep South Wrestling champion. And I just wanted to tell you that you should stay tuned in to CCP Podcasting because why? Why? Because they're the number one indie podcast in the world right now. Tune in, love it, like it, share it, do it. Boom.
What is happening, friends of CCP Podcasting? Welcome back to Beyond the Bell. My name is Chris Page. The gentleman right there with that luscious beard, that's John the Beast Cable. My man, this has been one I have been waiting for what seems like months. What are you up to, my man? How are you doing? And are you as excited as I am for today's guest?
I don't think anybody on the channel is as excited as you are for it, but I think I'm a close second. We have been talking about this for quite some time, but I know this has been the one you've been working for. I know that you are just chomping at the bit to get right into this thing.
I'm so ready to do this. The Beyond the Bell series started out as something that, we were playing around with just to see what would happen. And it's now turned into, a 10-week thing, 11 weeks of back-to-back interviews with professional wrestlers from all over the world. Today is no exception. I am stoked to bring this gentleman in. We have seen him on our channel several times. We've done some spotlight videos on him. We have been eagerly anticipating the arrival. We can officially say right now, here in just a second, we'll bring him in. They call him the franchise player out of CCW and in Florida, which is down in the Miami area, and they travel into Nashville, into Tennessee, and even down to my neck of the woods in Tampa. There's a lot that we're going to discuss with the gentleman. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it because, as you can see on the shirt, buddy, it's Cha-Cha time. Welcome to the show, Cha-Cha Charlie. How are you, man? It's good to finally get you in. Hope life's treating you well.
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me. You're finally here. I'm excited. This is gonna be one big party, and hopefully everyone who's watching will be celebrating and dancing all night long.
Dude, let me tell you, this ride that we've been on's been great, and you're the first individual that we've gotten on in Florida. Both John and I are in Florida. I'm in the Tampa area. John's in the Jacksonville area. This one's going to be a good one. John, meet Cha-Cha on the air. Cha-Cha, meet John on the air.
Hello, sir, and you can bet I'll be dancing all night, buddy.
That's what I'm talking about. What's up, John? What's up, Chris? What's up, CCP Podcasting? How's it going, guys?
It's Cha-Cha time, brother. Listen.
It's cha-cha-cha.
Before we jump into asking some questions to get us started, I feel like I know why you got into the business initially. For those of you out there, you look down in the video description below. You'll see the YouTube link for Cha-Cha's on YouTube page. I think it's Cha-Cha Charlie TV. There's about a 6-minute documentary, 7-minute documentary. I want to tell you, when we did your spotlight video, we opened up with that, and our room just immediately fell in love. I had people say, how can you not root for Cha-Cha Charlie? How can you not do this? I think that your story about getting into professional wrestling is very inspiring, and why you got into professional wrestling. So for our listeners and our viewers out there who maybe, shame on you if you haven't went and watched the spotlight video, but tell our viewers a little bit about why you got into the business and why it was so important for you to get into the industry.
Well, wrestling has been a part of my life, my whole life, since I was born. My uncle's a second-generation wrestler. I'm a second-generation wrestler. My uncle was a wrestler in the Dominican Republic. So it's in my blood. It's in my background. I wish I could have started early, in my early 20s, in my 17th, but the opportunity wasn't there. My son was born. When my son was born, he was my inspiration. The opportunity presented itself, and I ran with it. Took it to the moon. I'm still taking it to as far as I can, whatever galaxy I could go to. but yeah, my son is my motivation. He's a kid with autism. And again, if you watch my documentary, I just wanted to give him a hero, and hopefully, that's what I'm doing here today.
Well, there's definitely no doubt about that. I think that like I got kind of got choked up. Like I've seen it several times. The first time I watched it, I kind of got choked up. I'm not gonna lie. And then again the second time, because I do think that your rationale for getting into the business to be that hero for your son. Like I think that's a noble act, because it's not a you thing. It's a him thing, and I can only imagine what it's like to grow up or raise a child that is autistic. It cannot be easy. It's got to be challenging, and the fact that you've tackled that head on, as a man, like it's good to see. And as a wrestling fan, like again, I go back to something Max said. How can you not cheer for this guy? How can you not root for this guy? With this being the story, which is not a story. It's real. It's real life.
Yeah.
And in a world filled of storylines and story arcs, like this is something serious, right? Like to me, it is, and I commend you for every step that you've taken thus far on your journey in professional wrestling. And you mentioned that you didn't get into it in your 20s, so we'll get the lob softball questions out of the way. When you were growing up, like who were some of your inspirations? What motivated you to get into the business outside of being that hero for your son?
I was born in the '80s. I was big. I was, Hulk Hogan was my John Cena at the time. Later in the '90s, I started really liking Bret Hart, Macho Man, the Ultimate Warrior. I was always one of those guys that liked the baby faces. Later on in the early 2000s, that's when I started liking the heels, Hollywood Hogan, NWO Hogan. But yeah, though, that's my era. I like Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Razor Ramon. That's what I grew up watching, and that was my inspiration right there.
John, I already know where you're fixing to head to, so let's open Pandora's box and get into some training
I don't
stuff.
know. I don't know if you do actually. Before
Oh,
training even becomes a thing, right? This is part of the training, part of your early career stuff. But you did start your career much later in life than a lot of these guys get to. What kind of challenges did that present you getting into schools, getting taken seriously as a talent? Did that affect how your training even came about?
Well, yeah, I had to keep up with the younger kids, with the younger guys. I was, trying to be in their level. Um, I was doing my stick, but again, I wanted to show that I'm as good as a 20-year old, as a 19-year old. I could keep up with them. Doesn't matter what my age was at the time. I started at 30. Um, the challenging part was just trying to keep up and competing with the class that I was in, because again, it's a lot of young people trying to get in. But from that class, the last person remaining is two of me. It's me and Jake St. Patrick. I don't know if you heard of Jake St. Patrick. He's a great talent. But in that class, it was a class of 30, and the last two of the Mohegans are standing, and we're doing pretty good right now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, we from our era also the classes kind of whittle themselves down. We are seeing a trend where these 30, 40 kid classes really have a lot more of the percentage passing on. And the talent going into the training schools in the last decade has been phenomenal. What was your experience in getting involved in the training? How did that come about? Did you pick an academy? Did you run into somebody by chance? What was the story getting you involved in a school?
Well, one of my friends, his name is Jack Covington. He used to go by Ace Mayhem. Probably still goes by Mayhem, but he doesn't wrestle anymore for now. He might have an injury. But anyways, my friend, he was wrestling. I didn't know indie was a thing down here until my friend started wrestling, and he invited me to one of his shows. I was like, oh my god, I think I could do this. But my friend, well, he was jacked. He was shredded. 300 pounds, nice body. He deserved to be on the stage. But yeah, I wanted to be involved some way somehow. And what happened was I offered. I went to school for film production, so I had a talent in filming and editing, and we worked out an agreement where I started filming the stuff for CCW at the time. I started editing all the stuff for CCW, but at the time when I was in the ring recording, I was always telling myself, "Man, I want to be there. I want to wrestle. I want to be there instead of being
You
the
paid your
cameraman."
dues in the studio truck.
Yeah, there you go. And then the coach at the time, who's my coach, who's the person who trained me, which is Pablo Marquez. We worked out an agreement. I told him, hey, teach me how to wrestle, and I'll do your videos, for free. And we worked out an agreement. We worked it out, and now I'm wrestling. I'm not filming anymore.
Do you think that do you think that the training and the experience you had in the production studio and the editing software stuff, do you think that plays a part in how well you're received on not just on camera but in front of the audience?
Yeah, because I think I have an advantage where I know where the camera is at. I know what I'm looking for when I'm a cameraman, what I'm looking for as an editor. I think I had a little advantage on that because I know where the camera's at as a wrestler. Especially when you're new, you're focused on your moves, you're focused on not messing up. Um, there's all aspect in wrestling where you have to find the camera, you have to work for the crowd, you have to work for the editor as well. That's another thing. As an editor, it's tough dealing with some of the edits. And yeah, you nailed it. It was an advantage for me.
Boy, you're preaching to the choir when you talk about editing. You're preaching
Yeah,
to the freaking choir, man.
I know how it is, man. I've edited some horrible wrestling matches that I did everything in my power to make it look good. But it took a lot of time off my time, and I didn't like it. So I try to work. When I wrestle, you'll see me. I think I know what I'm doing.
I think
Well,
it's
and
safe to
it's
say
evident watching your matches too that you do have that mindset because you are playing to the camera. You're always looking at the camera. You're always doing something with the crowd, and it's that interaction between you guys that I think makes your career really special.
Yeah. The crowd is always there for me, and if it's a new crowd, I think I have a talent where I know how to get them to engage with me. I kind of could control the crowd, but again, it's the control. The crowd is with me. The crowd is helping me, and they're helping make Cha Cha Charlie what he is today.
Well, let me ask you this: when you get into the industry, did you have the character of Cha Cha Charlie already in mind, or was that something that you just cultivated? What was the process on getting the character together?
So at practice, I was always wrestling and dancing merengue. I was having fun at the same time, but I wanted to incorporate my culture, which is the Dominican Republic. The Dominicans, they like dancing merengue, they like dancing salsa, bachata, and I wanted to incorporate it some way somehow. And I was doing it at practice. Funny story, the first name I chose was El Charlie Bronson, El Charlie Bronson, Charles Bronson, famous character. I wanted to be the Spanish version, but The Rock's dad, he hated it. He was like, "That's stupid. I hate it." And I put my head down, and then everyone, and, it's still, everyone was, Charlie this, Charlie that. And then one of the wrestlers, one of the boys was like, "Why don't you put Cha Cha in front of it?" I'm like, Cha Cha, Cha Cha Charlie, Cha Cha Charlie. You cannot forget that name. That's a name that's gonna stick no matter what.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I was like, I like it. Let's go with it. Let's run with it. Cha Cha Charlie. The Rock's dad didn't say no. My other coaches didn't say no. They liked it, and Cha Cha Charlie. Once it was it stuck forever.
Well, thankfully it did because Cha Cha
Yeah.
Charlie is super entertaining. I mean, John hit the nail on the head earlier. One thing that I appreciate about your work is the
Mhm.
constant engagement that you have with the audience. Like there are matches of yours that I've seen, and John can attest. I watch a lot of independent wrestling throughout the week, a lot, and it's very hard for something to stick out and resonate with me because again we're multitasking 14 projects at one time, 15 projects at one time. So that's 15 people that we're having to watch, right? One
Right.
thing that stuck out like a sore thumb, any match of yours that I watched, if there was a dull moment within the crowd, you were looking for a way to get them on their feet or get them invested into what was going on in the story that was being played out inside the ring. And to me, that's a nuance that you don't see a whole lot of nowadays. It's more about moving from spot to spot to spot. So to see that you go out of your way to, it's like I equate it to a line in Airheads, the movie. Like, if you're not getting off, I will find you and I will get you off. Like, it's one of those situations as getting the connection with the crowd. And I think that it's a tremendous piece of artwork that's in your repertoire that people should probably pay attention to a little bit because it's a dying art. There's a handful of guys out there that are really good at it, and you're one of them. And it's just something that sticks out, is because you are looking for that person that is not given a reaction, and you'll get the reaction at some point. And it's just a trait that it's kind of lost amongst some talent today. It's good to see that it's still there, and you're with your essence and your regard when you're in the ring.
Thank you for noticing that, because that's one of the things that I do focus while I'm in the ring. Once I hear dead air, I'm not enjoying myself. I'm like, no, no, no. Let's. I'm gonna get my opponent involved. I'm gonna get him some heat. I cannot stand dead air, especially in a match. In almost any of my matches, I like if I hear dead air, we're gonna get that crowd
Well,
going
it's
some way
something
somehow.
as simple as like Tim. I saw it. I can't call the match, but I can call the spot.
No, but,
There was a spot where you were in is either a sleeper or it was a rear chin lock, and there was nothing from the crowd. Like it died. All you did was take your right foot and bang the mat 3 times, and all of a sudden you hear cha 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 cha.
yeah.
It's the little bitty things that create the bigger picture. And if no one else tells you, I appreciate that. John appreciates that because we look at wrestling from a different eye, and it's a blessing and a curse.
And I could tell. The first time I hear it from any podcast person, from any of my fans, or even coach, that's pretty good, man. Thank you for noticing that.
I want to take you back to the night that you won your first CCW World Title. It was the Alchemist, and you were inside of a cage. And I remember watching the match live on the channel. What was it like for you, knowing that that was your night? And at that point, I'm not sure how long you were in the industry, but John and I have had this conversation with several people. Anytime that you get to the world title, whether it's whether you're drawing 200 people a show, whether you're drawing 1,000 people a show, it is now your responsibility to pack that
It's
house.
definitely a weight.
It's a weight on your shoulders. So, what was it like for you when you realized they had the conversation? This is your night, and can you tell me how you were feeling when you got that little piece of information?
It was one of the best moments of my life. Knowing that a company believes in you, they trust in you, and they want to put their world title on you. But besides that, when winning the gold, it told me that everything that I've been doing this for, I've been doing it for a reason, and to see that they believed in me, and for me to win the world title that night, there's thousands of students that come in, and no one gets the opportunity to become world champion. And that night, was honored to become world champion. I think I was probably 4 years, 3 to 4 years in with CCW, and CCW is a major brand. It's not a regular indie show. They've been around for 20 years, so they don't just put world titles on anyone. Um, but again, when they gave me the opportunity to become the world champion, it was the best experience ever. I was in a steel cage match, my first steel cage match. I decided to do my signature move, which is a frog splash, but I call it the Mangoo splash. From the top of the cage.
Yep.
I didn't even practice that. There's no practicing on that.
No,
I was
no,
up
it's
there.
you're gonna do it, and whatever happens, happens, because it doesn't matter. Every time is different.
Yeah, and now I do it like it's nothing. Like I'll go up in the cage. This is late now. But the first time I did it, I was up there. It took me like 30 seconds to stand up because I was so nervous. I looked at the crowd. I saw everybody. Oh my God, there's gonna be a dead body. And I hit it. Thanks to my opponent, David Mercury. At that time he took me under his wings. Defeating him at the time was also very honorable because he's been doing this for a long time, and I was just honored to be in the ring with him. He guided me through it, and we made magic that night.
You did. I popped hard when the 3 count was made on that one on the stream on the channel, man. It was a moment, and you could tell there was a second where you were like, I don't know about this, but you set sail and landed it, man. I remember when I was in the business, it was 99 to 2003 ish. And I remember when I got that tap, and I was like, "What do I do? I don't know what's next." And for you've had a tremendous run. I think you've had it twice actually, and you just touched on CCW being around for 20 years. They just had what was it, this past weekend, right? It was the 20
their
year
anniversary show.
Yeah, the big anniversary show. We had a nice crowd, close to 1,000 people there.
That's
Yeah,
a
and you guys
win.
have been celebrating that for a couple months now. You guys have had some banger shows.
Yeah, we've had prior to that, but prior to the anniversary show, which was this past Friday, I had a match on Thursday with Mike Donovan, who's a great wrestler from New York City. He took me to the limits. The next day, I had to wrestle at the anniversary show. I wrestled against Stalin Roger, formerly known as Kurt. Stalin Rogers, formerly known as Kurt Stallion in NXT. He was not no easy task either. He's a hard hitting. He's probably the hardest chops I've ever felt in my life is probably from him. I'm still feeling it. And then the next night I had another match after that. I went to the school, went to support the school, and had a fatal 4-way that night too.
Well,
This is all shortly after your other cage match. That
There you
just
go.
had.
I was like, let's not gloss
Yeah,
over the fact you kicked the shit out of AJ Francis inside of a cage. Come on.
That
AJ
makes me
Francis,
very
Top
happy.
Dollar, whatever you want to call him. It was my night that night, and we had a killer match too.
Tore it down.
So within 7 days, I want to say I had 5 matches. So if
And
you ask me right
not
now,
an easy schedule to boot, like that. Not at all.
yeah, not at all, because all the people that I'm facing, the crowd that each venue had a nice little crowd. And if you ask me right now, I'm pretty tired. I'm pretty banged up, but I'm gonna do it again this weekend.
That's the nature of the business, man. I know, John, we've kind of jumped around a little bit. I'm going to throw it over to you. What you got?
So transitioning from like being a student to taking full-time books and working your schedule, what was some of the hardest parts for you in the transition? What made it difficult for you to get your career really moving forward the way you wanted to get there?
Get my schedule, my schedules, making my schedule. Now that I'm getting bookings every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even Thursdays, it was the scheduling. I had to find a job because at the end of the day, wrestling you can make money off wrestling, but is it gonna pay all the bills? Probably not.
Right.
Especially in the indies, and especially if you're not in the in the big stage. Um,
Right.
am I getting paid? Absolutely. Am I paying my bills? Probably not. So I need to schedule my shoot job and then my real life, with my kids, or with my kid, and then also the wrestling. So I found, luckily I got a job where I sell insurance. I'm an insurance agent, um, and luckily the owner, he understands my dream. He understands my goals, and he's letting me basically work my schedule, my shoot job surrounding my wrestling schedule. As long as I'm producing, and trust me, I am producing. I'm keeping him happy because as long as I keep him happy, I'm happy too. So
Well,
yes, the
that's great that
schedule.
you found a way to make the schedule work. What's the home life to the training schedule balance look like? Knowing that you have a full-time job regularly, and you've got all these shows, and you got to go to the gym, and you spend time with your kid. How do you manage to keep that balance going well? What's some tips and tricks that you've figured out in your life that make all of that scheduling work for you?
You have to be committed, man. You have to be committed. You have to like make this priority. Because if you want to wrestle, you have to, like you said, you have to train. You have to stay in shape. And then on top of that, I got to take care of my son. I got to work, produce. So it's a balance. It's not an easy balance, but once you find it, you stay on top of it, and then you could do it.
First of all, let me say shout out to your owner, your boss man, for having that open mind to allow you
Yeah.
to entertain us and everyone that you step in front of. Um, sorry, that's all I had.
Yeah.
That's what I had at the moment,
No, no,
John.
it's good. It was a trial and tribulation. I had a few insurance agencies that I worked for. I got fired in a few of them because like, hey, we can't keep up with your wrestling schedule, and I was making wrestling priority, and I got fired probably like from two or three different agencies. My boss right now, David Delisandro, he from Boca Bay Insurance. He saw the goal, he saw the dream, and he was happy with the numbers that I was putting up, and I'm consistently still putting up numbers for him, and we're both of us are happy at the end of the day.
That's awesome.
Go ahead, John.
Thank you. No, thank you. Yeah.
So, knowing that your big focus, because like we were talking about earlier, we could see absolutely the focus is on you interacting with the crowd. What's the biggest bit of lore about your character that the crowd has come up with and has run with as a big story about you? Because everybody's got their fan base that tells these tales about what's going on. Do you have any big lore bits about you that your fans have come up with?
Yeah, I mean, recently, so I just wrestled Kurt Stallion Rogers, or whatever he wants to call himself now. Um, we told a great story, good guy, bad guy, but he showed that he's a super heel, and by the ending of that match, lots of kids were crying. Kids were crying. They were coming up to me with tears, their parents. I tend to do that often when if I lose. I touch, emotionally, I touch a lot of kids. It's something that where I think they just love me. They can relate to me. Um, I hope that answers your question, or
It's
You,
fun. I mean, yeah, it does. It's that fan
well,
connection, and when, dude, if
I
you can connect to the kid, you can definitely connect to the crowd.
anytime I lose, I see a lot of kids crying often. I don't know what it is, but there's something about the kids, and me losing or me getting my butt kicked, that they don't like, and I'm just glad. I'm just happy that I'm not happy that they're crying, but I'm happy that I'm connecting with them.
It's well for starters, the my answer would be don't touch the man's hat. You touch the man's hat, the crowd automatically knows
Oh,
that something's about to go down. Like this is not going
yeah,
to
yeah.
end well for whoever has laid the hands upon the sombrero that you've got on your head, my man. And excuse me. I want to talk about that for just a second because that's you talk about bringing in pieces of your heritage into your character, and now knowing that because that was information I didn't know, right? Like it when you hit your frog splash, one of the first things you do is you grab the sombrero and you put the sombrero on your head. So I like that touch and I like that throwback, especially now knowing that it's a call to your heritage. When you hit that frog splash, it's usually over. You grab that hat and you hit the frog splash, brother. It's 100%.
The sombrero picked up a life of his own. It's like its own character now. If one of the heels, I'll tell the heel, hey, just go grab the hat. Like that moment. If I hear something like dead air, if
That'll
like
pop instantly.
instantly the crowd is gonna instantly get mad just by touching it. And then if they go the extra mile, spit on it, throw it on the floor, oh they want to throw stuff at my opponent.
It's
They don't.
out.
They,
We're out for blood. We're out for blood
Yeah,
at
yeah.
that point.
Like you could beat me up, but leave the hat alone.
You have had a lot of tremendous matches against a lot of
Hmm.
really tremendous talents. Carlito and getting in there with Moose and getting in there with EC3 for the NWA Championship, which I still feel your owed a rematch on. Come on, Billy, make it
hundred
happen,
percent.
Captain. Uh, having the experience of getting in there with guys that have been on television, what's something that you've learned from them while you've been in the ring? Because I'm often curious to see what's being passed down. Because if you're being put in the ring with this kind of talent, like there's plans. Like you're going to be seen. There's no way that you cannot. So I'm just curious to see what you've picked up from some of the TV or the former stars that were whether attached to the WWE or TNA or still are.
Yeah, the professionalism. You could tell they're well established. They've been on TV. You could tell they know what they're doing. It's something where normally when I'm with a regular indie wrestler. I'm normally carrying the match. I'm normally suggesting things, and not that I'm always carrying the match. I input everything. It depends on my opponent. We do a little bit of everything. But when it's working with those professionals, they incorporate my style, their style. Um, but you could tell it's just a different level. I step up to another level because I want to keep up to them. I want to show them that I'm just as good as them. Um,
Kind of reminiscent of your training days.
yeah, yeah, there you go. But I'm always nervous, and anytime I'm facing like one of those big names, I'm nervous. I don't want to mess up. I don't want to look bad. I know there's gonna be more eyes on me, and it's just something that you have to adapt to, and once you're there, it's go time. You can't fumble. And I haven't fumbled yet. Not that knock on wood, but I feel like I belong in there with them, and that's why these opportunities are being presented to me.
Go ahead, John.
I mean, I can't disagree with that at all.
Neither
That's,
can I.
I mean,
That's a mic drop
you
moment.
see the talent in the ring. Yeah, you see the talent in the ring when you're in there, and the caliber of matches that you end up having, and it makes sense that they keep giving you good opportunities with great opponents, and get those eyeballs on you. What with all of that attention though, how do you keep your focus not just on like, oh, this this article blew up, or this viral video went off, or I've got this big feud going on, and how do you keep focused on what you're doing at CCW instead of just like, oh, this big thing is happening?
It's a job. It's a job for me. That without that opportunity, when I was doing it before I got the big name, before I got the big the clout, all that stuff, it was a job then, and it's still a job now, and I just treat it like a job. Just gotta keep going.
Humility and dedication, sir. I appreciate it for sure.
Can,
Definitely.
give me you've had a lot of matches over the last several years. Any of them that stick out to you, and
We've had a
why?
lot of matches in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah. Facts.
Steve Macklin for the Impact World Title. That was a good one. He put me to the test. Um, I've faced Moose twice. The funny thing is I'm unsuccessful with all these big names, but it's okay. I'm trying to get that W.
It's the experience, though. Ultimately,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
I don't. Me personally, I don't give a shit if I win or lose. Hey, let's
Yeah.
let's tell a story, and I know by association that people are going to see this that maybe wouldn't. So, you know what I mean? Like that. And you knock it out of the park. Like every time you step into the ring, you do.
And I feel like it too because the crowd reaction, the way the crowd acts afterwards, what they're telling me, um, everyone always tells me I did good, I did great, I did my job. Yeah, so you're right. It's not about the wins or the W's. It's about making sure people understood the story. People are happy about the outcome of the match, even if I didn't win. Hopefully they were entertained by the whole storytelling of my opponent. But yeah, well, what else? Fandango, Cha Cha Charlie versus Fandango. That's a dream match.
Dude.
I couldn't believe that happened. That's something that I used to watch Fandango on TV, and I was like, it's only right. Cha Cha Charlie versus Fandango one day, and the universe is crazy. It's just crazy. I can't believe that I had the opportunity to wrestle Fandango in a dance off, and I not only didn't face him once, I faced him twice already, and it's been a dance off. It's been good storytelling too. We had the crowd going when we had him.
You're gonna make me go find that. I'm gonna need to see it.
Yeah, yeah. Look it up.
Yeah, definitely that. That's going on a show.
Oh yeah,
Go ahead, John. What you
that
got?
one.
So we've talked about, how you have all these things going on and how packed your life is. Your workout regimen. Do you just spend time at the gym? Do you have a cardio regimen? Do you go for runs? What is it that you do maybe even outside of the gym that gets your workout checklist knocked out?
So I recently started boxing. I'm not trying to go pro. Probably have an amateur fight opportunity
Great
to
workout though.
yeah,
It
but yeah.
is.
So I'm trying to get fit. I'm trying to look lean. I'm trying to look the part. So I started boxing so I could really look, fit. Um, the wrestling, I try to go, but I'm not trying to take free bumps anymore. My body's taking a toll. My body's definitely taking a toll. I'm feeling everything. So I try to go to school, show support when I can. But again, I'm not. My bump card is real, and those free bumps is tough. So that's why I'm doing boxing. So I could get the energy, the adrenaline, so I could stay active the whole time. Footwork, all that stuff helps with wrestling too.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, boxing is helping me. I go, I weightlift. So I could look the part. Um, so yeah, no, I'd still try to train. If I have to wake up early to do all this, I will. Then go to work. Then pick up my son. Then deal with the average. Also, you got to promote yourself. That's another part of the job. You got to promote yourself. I promote myself very hard. On top of that, I stay on my social media. I stay
Oh yeah,
active.
your socials are fire.
Yeah, I have to because no one's doing it for me. So and me promoting myself has helped me a lot too. I want to say.
And guys and gals, right above him on screen, it's right there on X and Instagram. It's Cha Cha time. You need to go ahead and like and subscribe. Don't wait. Just go ahead and do it right now. Go ahead, John. Sorry, that just seemed like an easy segue for a shameless
There you go.
plug.
There you
No, it
go.
absolutely is. And let me also remind you guys out there the easiest way to promote and support indies, if you cannot go to the show, you can't buy a t-shirt, those likes and subscribes go a long way. It gets those socials out to somebody that maybe can go to a show or maybe didn't know about them, maybe wants to buy a t-shirt. It's that networking. Exactly.
Look at that shirt. Look at that shirt. I
that
love that
really
shirt,
helps
Chris.
indie promotions
ProWrestlingTees.com
as much as
/cha cha
possible.
Charlie.
There it is.
Links all down below in the description, guys. Don't forget to go down there and hit all the buttons and do the thing. It is, again, the easiest way to support independent wrestling. All your independent wrestling favorites really do enjoy the support, and it is the thing that keeps them floating from one match to the next. And that is no joke. The money aspect of indie wrestling is not the fun part. It is
Right.
definitely not. If you don't have a passion for the fans, you don't have a passion for the business, you don't have a passion for the matches themselves and putting it together and being a showman, this is definitely not the industry for you. That is
You,
just facts.
you nailed it. Nailed it. That's exactly how it is. The likes, the subscribes, all that helps. The algorithm, one person sees it, the other person sees it. That's why I always, any match card that I'm in, I'm gonna post a poster because I want some fans to come see me if I could, get someone to go. Because right there, they could possibly buy a shirt, they could possibly buy a sombrero. And if not, hopefully I gained a fan that night, and that's all. That's what's all about.
There's so many merch ideas in my head right now.
We've been
so
give them to
many.
me.
we've
Give
been,
them to
we've
me.
been, we've been known to give them out. So that's
You
just the thing.
you need a Cha Cha Charlie bottle opener.
A Cha-Cha Charlie bottle opener. I like that. Yeah.
Maybe even a pair of flip flops with the bottle openers in the heel with Cha Cha going on, man. Come
There you
on,
go.
dude.
Telling you.
What's another one? Someone told me like the two little
The maracas.
yeah, one says cha cha, the other one says cha 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 cha.
Yeah.
That might be a little thing
Yeah,
there
there's
too.
a million ideas for merch for you, man. A million of them.
With the resurgence of independent wrestling, so I feel like the independent scene is kind of on fire everywhere, like in a good way. I don't think I can recall wrestling, especially the indies. Now that's where a lot of my focus is. I will watch some WWE, some AEW. Every now and then, of course, if somebody says, "Oh, you need to see it," yeah, I'll go watch it. I'll see what it's all about. But I mainly focus on the independent scene because that's where the future lies.
Right.
It's not in training facilities. I'm not knocking the performance center by any means. It's a state of the art facility. However, the I feel the work is really done outside of that because you're learning so many different avenues. And while it would be great to learn under Shawn Michaels, they're training you the WWE way, and the WWE way may not necessarily be the right way all the time. Versus getting out there on the independent scene and learning from as many people as you can. And that may sound like a hot take, but my question circles around independence and how it has blown up. There's so many different opportunities all around. Florida, specifically, it's a big state. Georgia, there's a lot happening up there. Do you think that Cha Cha, if given the opportunity to make like a run across some of the other independent circuits, how amped or how would you go about doing that? Is that something you would jump on? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
100%. 100%. Uh, you know, so when I started, I was reaching out to everybody. I was trying to get my name out there, and I was doing what any indie wrestler that's trying to get it started, what they should be doing. Now I'm in a level where like I think they should start, giving me that call, giving me that phone call. We work it out. I'll be more than happy to be a stable and part of any indie promotions because I think I bring a lot to the table. I think I'm very valuable, and I think I could establish and help out any up and coming stars that they feel that's ready to move on to the next level. Yeah, just a phone call. Give me that phone call. I'll be more than happy to entertain it.
So what you're saying is Cha Cha Charlie would like to wrestle in all the promotions in Florida and get some arms laden in gold? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. I want to win titles in everywhere I go. New championships. Put it to another level, and hopefully we all come out.
It's Cha Cha time. That's
It's
it.
cha-cha
It's
time.
Cha Cha time. John, go ahead.
No, I think it's amazing that you've got such this bright outlook for what you've got going on. When he mentioned that indies are doing something right now that is just unheard of, I think we see a lot now with the independent circuits that we're kind of having a resurgence of territories.
Hmm.
And with that, it makes it a lot easier for guys like you to make a circuit out of a bunch of different companies, and there's a lot of talent sharing across locals. And with that, what do you think is the big opportunity for independents right now that isn't, what the big four are doing, the big three are doing? What do you think the opportunity for independent wrestlers and independent companies is for us to move this territories movement and into this new era of what wrestling is doing? What do you think is our biggest chance to make it something even better than it is?
Maybe working together, because a lot of companies they step on each other's toes because they don't want you working in this town or in that town. Um, Establishing something where we could work together, that could be something.
I,
But again, establishing your star, your future stars, your up and coming guys. If you see something in someone, whoever's the promoter, whoever's the owner, they should definitely jump in that and help them grow. But yeah, I think if like since it's different territories, we at the end of the day, it's not AEW versus WWE, it's not MLW versus TNA. We're not competing in the big stage. It's not that serious. Um, I think if we could do something where we all make money and we're all growing, it could be beneficial to everyone.
See, it kind of chaps my ass a little bit because John and I have seen, like, I'll use Australia as an example. We've made several connections there with 5 different promotions. They work together. They literally will work together so that they don't step on each other's toes.
Yeah.
Talent can work wherever they want to work. If the promoter wants to book them, they're booked. The same thing is happening in the UK. We've made several contacts over there, and it's happening in Georgia with 4 or 5 feds. To hear that it's not happening down here in Florida, like that kind of bothers me a little bit, John. That kind of makes me,
Yeah.
I can't promote obviously a show, but if I had a dog in that race, like we're representing Florida.
Yeah, but
Like
it's not only in Florida. I feel like
it's
that it's in a lot of different states. I came back from Philly and I was just hearing a whole bunch of stories about feds versus feds. I'm like, okay, man, I'm just here to have a good time. Um,
Did you get any
but
dates
yeah, no.
while you were in? Did you get any dates?
Oh yeah, so,
Was that Mania week?
so PPW, which is one of the major brands in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to work that show, and finally they saw me wrestle. They're like, oh shit, there's something there, and now we're in talks. We're gonna make it work soon.
Hey, that's great to hear. We've had several friends of the show, and guests of the show that were up there Mania weekend. Man, I wish I'd have known that you were going up there. I'd have hooked you guys up. Uh,
Yeah,
that's the beautiful thing about the industry. Like we have a saying on the channels: professional wrestling brings people together. It doesn't
yeah,
matter who you are. Doesn't matter whatever. Like if you can't find something to love about professional wrestling, then I question your ability to be a human. Because like there's something for everybody, and hopefully, if promoters can check egos at the door and realize it's about the business. It's about
Sometimes their own.
yeah, yeah, no, 100%. But that's, I'm not saying that it would be a perfect world by any means, but it would make more opportunities for the guys and gals that are in the ring to make more money. And that's why we're here. Like, it, if promoters would pull their heads out of their rear ends and really start thinking about the bigger picture, man, You wouldn't need the WWE. You wouldn't need AEW. Like you know, and I know that there are some indies out there that are working together and that are pulling resources. And of course, you know, those are on a bigger scale, but it doesn't mean that smaller promotions can't, like, if I'm running a Fed, I'm watching what's happening. Well, that seems to be working. Imagine that.
How
Now,
can we
what
do
if
that?
I? There
Right.
you go. And then you create opportunities for everybody. And I don't know. I'm sorry, I went on a rant. That happens every show.
No, it's fine, and
that was our one.
it's all fine to talk about how it would be a perfect thing, but then the
How,
question really becomes like, how does that work? How do we get that started? How does that conversation happen in the state of Florida for us to get more than 2 or 3 promoters to work together on a major territory and have the talent mobilize themselves? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, good
I don't
question.
know
That's
that
why
I'm qualified to answer it either, but it's
I don't think
definitely a question that should be talked about.
absolutely, I'm with you. Yeah, that's why I wrestle. That I help out every way I can. And again, I'm independent. I could work anywhere I want. Obviously, my loyalty is to CCW, Coastal Championship Wrestling. That's my home ground. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm here to make a name for myself. I'm here to make my name a name for myself in any Fed, any promotion. So give me a call. I'll be more than happy to discuss business.
All the Fed heads
hey,
out there, pay attention. There is a talent on a roster that could be yours for the right
There you
price.
we need to get him hooked up with IWE Pro. That just seems like a match made in heaven right there.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that would be great.
There's in you know upcoming in 2024, man. You've already had a solid beginning, solid. I mean, it's been great. What do you have coming up that you're able to talk about, or where do you see yourself going in 2024 for, like, I guess the second, third, and fourth quarter of the year?
So River City Con, that's in I think in June.
St.
That's
Augustine.
huge.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm booked for both nights. I don't know who my opponents are yet, but I'll
Uh,
definitely be there
I
for both nights.
I believe John and I will
I'll
be there
have
as
a
well.
perfect. I'll have a booth. So yeah, that's in around the Tampa area, right?
St. Augustine.
No, that's
It's
St.
more.
Yeah.
Augustine is just north of me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
So I'll
Yeah, it's,
definitely be
it's on the
there.
Atlantic coast.
I'll be there. I'll be mingling with all the big names that they signed up. I just don't know who my opponents are, but we'll deal with it
Those
when it's
are
time.
those are massive events up here too. The
Yeah,
WrestleCon is
You,
huge.
and you
Yeah.
just mentioned that you do have a booth. So, guys and
yeah,
gals, if you're heading to River City Con, be sure to stop by, say hello, pick up some merch, or promoters. Make that overture. What's that look like for you? So when you say you're booked both days, so you'll be in ring both days, and then you'll be working your table or working your booth
yeah,
in the time around it.
yeah. Let me give you the exact dates. Hold on, June.
Yeah, definitely want to push as many people that direction as possible. That is
I
a
believe it's
massive
8th
event.
and
It is
ninth.
definitely,
Yeah, the
if
8th
you
and
are
the
in
9th.
the area, you should not miss it.
So yeah, June 8th and June 9th. St. Augustine, River City Con. It's huge. They draw a huge amount of people.
So
'Cause
many.
we get so many, so many. Yeah, people from all over the world is coming to that. It's almost like a WrestleCon. But it's in Florida, so definitely jump
Yeah,
in
it's the biggest one we've got down here in our neck of the woods for sure.
for sure. So yeah, get your tickets now. I think they're discounted if you get them early. But
No,
yeah, that's coming up.
they need to get them now. They're almost sold.
There you go.
So,
Yeah, no, 100%.
like, that's for real. I got mine, and I think I'm gonna hook up my partner, and we're gonna make a weekend out of it and make that happen. I definitely am looking forward to that. What else do you have coming up with Coastal? I know that they're running several a week.
So yeah, so on May 3rd, we're going down to Key West for the first time. Key West hasn't had wrestling in a long time. I don't think they have any indie feds down there. So we're gonna go ahead and stomp to the Key West territory.
Some new ground knocked out.
Yeah, get that knocked out. That's May 3rd.
That's one of the things that I've been really happy seeing with CCW is that they are traveling and they are making a name for themselves across the state and not just in Florida. I know you guys went north not that long ago and had a series of shows up there. So you guys are really kind of spreading out what you're doing, and you have more than one roster of talent going different places and doing different stuff. And that is very interesting to watch it grow.
Yeah, and what's crazy is that we're drawing too. We're drawing crowds everywhere we go. Everywhere. It's not like we're promoting. Yeah, we're investing. We're doing everything to be known as a major brand. Yeah, like you said, we're everywhere right now. We're not just in South Florida. We're consistently. So on May 3rd, I'll be in Key West. That next day, I'll be back in South Florida in Miami. I guess I get the rematch against Stanley Rogers in Hialeah, Florida.
Oh, he's going down. He's going down.
Oh yeah, I gotta get revenge for making those kids cry, and I promise them I will.
You tell me
then the following week.
Go ahead.
Yeah, on May 11th, I'm going to New York City. I'll be wrestling up there in New York and Queens. So I'll be in New York on that week. Super busy, man. Then Kissimmee, Florida. So yeah, CCW. So we have some main shows that we consistently do every month. So every first Saturday of the month, we're in Hialeah, Florida. Every second Friday of the month, we're in Kissimmee, Florida, which is the Orlando area. And now we're gonna hit Tampa. I think every Saturday. So after Kissimmee, the next day is Tampa, May 11th, where we'll be up there too. So yeah, just it's so much shows. If you really want to come watch me, follow my social media. I'll make sure to advertise and promote what's coming up.
Dude, it's like CCW has their own route, like their own little territory.
I'll be in Nashville in May 17th. Nashville, Florida. We're having a tournament to crown the first Tennessee heavyweight champion. And I'm a part of the tournament. That's one title. I would love to be the face of Tennessee. So my goal right now is to go through Chase Stevens in the first round and move on and become the new CCW Tennessee heavyweight champion.
Wow, you got a tough draw in that first round, man. You are
busy.
First
time. Yeah,
your schedule's off the chain, John. What's your
and they didn't give me no easy pickings here. They gave me Chase Stevens in the first round. That's
tough.
I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, tough. Well, oh my God.
Let me ask you this real quick, because you mentioned something when you're talking about winning the championship, and I'm sorry, ADD just kicked in.
Yeah.
Beastman, we had him on the show a while back, and he was obviously CCW World Champion for a hot minute, and you guys have been in the ring together. And I know that he's got a Fed too.
Yeah.
Fuck, where is it at? Excuse me, sorry. Didn't mean to say
Virginia.
Yes. Any thoughts about hooking up and going up there to see if Cha can work in that deck?
He thinks I'll fit right in. Every time I see him,
that conversation.
He thinks I fit right in. Every time I talk to him, I tell him to bring me up. He just, he got to see his dates. I'm down to wrestle for him. He's a great guy. I've wrestled him a few times. Every time we wrestle, we make magic. And you do. And I'm 100% will. I'll kill it out there too.
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, he's great. I love Beastman.
He's like a big teddy bear. I just want to give him a hug. I don't know.
I saw him in Philadelphia, and as soon as I saw him, he was a big teddy bear. I gave him that big hug.
Yeah, man, I bet you he just couldn't stop like cheesing and grinning, man. He's a good dude.
Of course.
Shout out to him if he's paying attention or if he's watching this. John, let me come around to you. What you got?
So, with all of the things that you have to handle as an indie wrestler, you've got promotions on yourself, schedule on yourself, day job, kid. What's your support system look like? Who's around you? Do you have people around you, or are you really just a one man gang and you just handle it all by yourself?
No, no, no. My biggest support is my mom. My mom helps me out. She supports me a lot. My girlfriend too, and she helps me out. Um,
You
but
better
yeah,
not forget that one.
yeah. My mom, especially my mom, without her, none of this is possible. She's been a mom by herself. She raised three of us, um, and it wasn't easy. We were born and raised in New York City. She took us out of New York because of the rough upbringing that we had. Brought us down to Florida, and from here, we all branched out into our own thing. But now my sister has a family, a beautiful family. Um, I'm at where I'm at right now, and I wouldn't be here without her.
Go ahead, John. What else you got?
Well, I mean, so we've talked a little bit about, where you're going this year. What's on your bucket list that you haven't got to do yet besides, burying yourself in titles? What's something on your horizon that you want to do? A match type, maybe a stipulation thing or a storyline? What's something that really you've had in your head and it's just sticking in there that's something you want to do in your career?
I want to do my entrance on a major stage, like an MLW Impact. I want the full entrance.
Uh,
I did make
You want to see the pyros?
yeah, yeah. No, just my background saying Cha Cha Charlie on the TV, on the monitors. I was in AEW, and I don't know if you saw the little skit where the whole crowd started chanting Cha Cha Cha. Um, they wrestled down, so they AEW came down here in Fort Lauderdale. They had me tag team, and they put me against Keith Lee and Dustin Rhodes. But
Oof.
yeah, well, I don't think they did their homework because they thought I was gonna be a heel. Not that I was gonna be a heel. Whatever they want, I would have been heel. But as you know,
The
during
fans
commercial,
knew better.
yeah, they knew better. As soon as I started walking on stage, the crowd started saying "cha," isn't that cha cha, cha cha, cha cha. As soon as I hit the ring, the whole crowd starts chanting "cha cha cha cha." The referee Aubrey comes over like, "Man, you're over." I'm like, "It's my hometown. No biggie." And then Justin Roberts, now he's upset. He comes up to me, "Aren't you supposed to be heel?" And I'm like, "What you want me to do? This is my hometown." Yeah. And then yeah, if you see, I get the hot tag. Once I get the hot tag, Keith Lee gets the tag too. Keith Lee tries to do his thing, but the whole crowd saw me in the ring and they start flooding him with the cha cha chants.
Oh,
Um,
no,
That's
I'm gonna
awesome.
have to look that up and see it. I
yeah,
didn't know you
yeah,
were.
oh yeah. That's huge. And then he gave me that one moment. I'm like, oh, thank you, Keith. And then I got my ass kicked.
That's
I mean, that's about how it
sometimes
works.
how it works out.
That's all I needed. That's all I wanted. But I feel like I need the full cha cha entrance now.
Yeah, no, you got that little taste. Now you want
Yeah,
the full deal. I think
I want
right
the full deal
now,
now.
right. I think right now, like with there being so many prominent, not necessarily top level indies, but there's so many out there. NWA, I know that they're running Tampa. Like I know that it's a smaller operation. Like OVW, uh, reality,
MLW.
MLW, reality of wrestling. Like there's so
Yeah, yeah.
many of them that are out there, and the beautiful thing about the industry, and that's why I say like it brings people together. We're chatting with people that work for all of them.
Good.
And it's a way for us to network and try and put names out there, right? Favors for favors. Like we asked you to do the show, and this is where I get to a point to I say, if there's anybody that's out there right now, like give me some of your dream opponents that you want to work with throughout the that are on the indies or whoever, like
Or not.
who are names that are on your bucket list of people that you want to get in the ring with because you know that you're gonna make magic. We ask this question to everybody and get different answers from everybody.
All the time.
And I'll tell you, I will make a clip of this and I will throw it out there and tag that individual in it and say, "Cha Cha wants some." So, uh, who would you want to get in there and dance with? I mean, you've danced with a lot of people so far.
Well, since Skrilla the Great is making his way to Florida, that's that guy's on my bucket list. Let's already make it happen. Cha Cha Charlie versus Skrilla. I seen his work. He's very talented. He is the real
Yeah, I think it
deal.
would be a fire match.
I mean,
I'm ready for him. But
so
you're coming to Florida. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm gonna if he's coming to CCW. I don't know if they want they want to give him someone else, but yeah, let's do it. Cha Cha Charlie versus Skrilla. Why not?
I mean, that makes me happy. Who else is on your bucket list out there? And I say that because, like, I know that he's gonna watch this, and you probably just popped him. Uh, and now I just got him because I called him out on it. I
But yeah, dream match that's on my bucket list is Chris Jericho. I would be a happy camper. I can say I made it. Chris Jericho would be a dream match that would definitely be on my bucket list.
That would be
Um,
fire. The crowd would be
yeah,
insane.
they would be insane, and I think he'll notice it. I think he'll work with it. I think me and him will make magic together.
Do you ever see yourself? And I think I know the answer to this question before I even ask it. Do you ever see yourself turning heel at any point?
It's come to my mind a few times. I think I'll make a great heel. But it's one of those heels that like if I turn heel, I want to make everyone cry, almost like Hulk Hogan.
Well, it would
Um,
have to be. There's
it would
no,
have to
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
there's no just do it to do it. Like there's gotta be the
No,
story's got to be right, the situation's got to be right, the town's got to be right, the opponent's got to be right. Like there, all of it has to fall into place. And
everything has to fall into place.
I say that
Hmm.
because the general conception, and it's true, the best baby faces make the best heels. When
Oh,
they flip,
it's
they
the
make the
emotional
best
connection for
heels.
sure.
Like I don't know anything about being a babyface. I couldn't do it. There's no way.
Yeah.
People naturally despise me when I start getting into character and in my shtick. So there's no baby kissing. I could see you in the right circumstance, like pulling that trigger and it doing big business, in as far as across the state of Florida. Because I do think that the beautiful thing about CCW is the towns that they're making. It is the areas that they're opening up. You mentioned Key West earlier, it being the first stop. That's another area. Tampa, you had your first stop here, I think, last month. So you see the progression here, and you open up Key West, stabilize Tampa, get all your markets together, and get the story right, and then pull the trigger, buddy. You'd be the most hated man in Florida.
Oh yeah, easy.
Probably true.
When you
Yeah,
mentioned,
yeah, that
go ahead.
easy. But I can't do it, man. I'm selling too much merch right now.
Well, that's what I said. The circumstances have to be right. I left
Has
that
to be right. Yeah.
if that circumstance is not right, then that's we're not there. When you mentioned Skrilla earlier, I'm sorry, I don't mean to circle back around to that real quick.
No, 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 you're good.
Uh, I could see you two guys doing more than a one-off. Like Skrilla is such a great heel, and you are such a solid baby face right now. If there was my personal deal is to see like a legit storyline draw out because you guys could probably make money not
Yeah.
only down here in Florida but up in Georgia too. I mean, he was Georgia's 2023 Wrestler of the Year, which is great. It means he draws money and he does his thing. I could see that being a multiple state thing, and then you wrap that back around into how independent wrestling is becoming more and more like the territories. And while there's an easy way to get the content, if you find that right dance partner, and you work that series in Florida and you take it to Georgia and it does better, and then you got other connections. You know what I mean? Like there's a way that you could carry a story arc and make up some money doing it.
Yeah. No, going to Georgia, wrestle him in his territory. He can wrestle me in mine. Make a storyline. Make something. Make money off this. Why
I
not?
was telling you, there's money to be made. Cha-ching. Uh,
let's make it happen.
John, do you got anything else, or what you got? What do you want to talk about?
I mean, we could go for hours, I guess. But, you know, realistically, I mean, you've got the Tennessee Championship coming up. Do you have a. I know that that's a long form deal. Like, you're not just going to walk into one match and get it. You've got several matches ahead of you. Do you know what the brackets look like for that? Do you have an idea of, like, what you're looking at down the run for that?
I know it's 4 matches that night. Everyone, whoever wins the 4 matches, move on. I don't know if it's a semifinal and then the final that night. So to win that title, maybe you have to go through 3 matches that day, and
They're doing
that's
it all in a single day?
all in a single day. Yeah.
Ooh.
Uh, QT Marshall is headlining against Kobe Carter, who's the real deal. He's up and coming in Tennessee. He's making a buzz out there, and that's why he's getting a title match. Um, I know that's the for the CCW Heavyweight Championship title, but then the tournaments it's up there, and hopefully I could become the new face of Tennessee. Maybe I have to get a Tennessee hat or something like that. Nah, this works.
No, let's not go that far.
Yeah, I'd stick to it. Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Cha-Cha, man, I know you're busy. You're hurting. You're getting yourself together after such a busy week. You got so much stuff coming up over the next several months. I'm very appreciative. John's very appreciative of the time. I don't want to eat up any more of yours because I know you need to rest and get some things together. It is almost 8:30 our time. I appreciate you, man, and I appreciate you making the time to sit down and talk with us this evening.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you, CCP Podcasting. Thank you guys for reaching out to me, creating all the stuff you guys did for me, talking about me, everything you guys done for buying the shirt. Thank you guys. All this means the world to me, and without this platform, without you guys, I wouldn't be motivating and continue doing this. So thank you guys.
John, what you want to say to Mr. Charlie before we tie a bow on it?
Well, sir, it has been a pleasure. It has been one that the audience here and those of us on the chat here have been looking forward to tremendously to get you on and pick your brain a little bit. It has been a blast having you on. We definitely appreciate the time that you spent with us. Thank you so much for being here. And maybe the next time you kick AJ Francis in the head in a cage, we could come and watch it. That'd be great. I'd love to see that live.
Yeah, I mean, I beat him in the last match, but I still don't like him. He doesn't like me. The feud is not over. We're gonna continue doing this one way or the other.
I've been doing my part as your fan to stir it on the X, so I will continue to do that, sir. No problem.
I was just about to bring that up. Okay, so before we this story has to be heard. AJ Francis throws out a tweet about something, not mentioning at all that the cage match, right? My boy here, John, what was your response to it?
It was something along the lines of whatever you need to sleep better at night after, to forget the cage and Charlie. It's no problem. He glossed over all of it entirely. It was right after the match, and he was on about how great his life was and how great his career was and how great he was. I was like, whatever you need to tell yourself, boss, at the end of the night to sleep after what Charlie did to you in the cage, you do that, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, good, because he tried to ignore the fact that he went through the table, that he ate a chair.
He glossed over it entirely.
He got hit with the frog splash from the top of the cage. He completely ignored it. I should have been talking more shit about it, but whatever.
Oh, you don't have to.
We're out here doing it for you.
The proof is
the
there.
Cha-Cha Army is handling it.
That's it. That's all I need.
All right, listen, guys, gals, thank you for watching the show. Above him is Cha Cha Time over on X and Instagram. Pro Wrestling Tees / Cha Cha Charlie. Guys, do what you can do down below. John, take us home. You can do the rest of it.
Guys and gals, you know how this works. Those savage elbows on the ding bell so you never miss a beat of what we got going on behind the curtain. We've always got new shows, new guests, new ideas, all wrestling all the time. We've got so many things coming down the pipeline. If you are not behind the curtain with us yet, go down below, click that Discord button, and let us know what your passion is in wrestling while we share ours with you. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, we love each and every one of your faces. Until next time.